Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Call halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Waha, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostle, the great millstone. Peace and blessings to Yakim, pushing his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. This is Amathia from the GMS Dallas camp. And I wanted to go into a quick lesson. Lord willing, this will be edifying. All right. And I wanted to go into how a new management is needed upon the earth. All right, because who rules the earth today is the so-called white man, and his biblical name in the scriptures is Esau. All right, Esau, Edom. Esau was the brother of Jacob, who was the sons of Isaac, and Esau was basically gave his birthright up to do what? So he wanted to get some raw ass meat. And the Lord said he would hate Esau. You can read that in Malachi. Alright, 1. Alright, you can also read about the story of Jacob and Esau and in Genesis 25 through 27. Alright, and to give you a good description on how the main plot of the main stories of the two adversaries who's going to be upon the earth, all right, who's going to be butting heads constantly, which who fought in the womb with one another, all right. And Esau runs the world today, and that is the so-called white man. Now, who is the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who the covenant and the chosen people went through, which is the 12 tribes of Israel, are you so-called black, Latinos, and Native Americans, who the world don't understand, but that is the 12 tribes of Israel, all right. We are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth among other nations, but it's who your father is. These small hats over there, they try to confuse people, all right, and they try to make it seem like it's who your mother is, it's who you are as being a people, but it's who your father is. When you go to Matthew chapter 1, it gives you the bloodline of who the word English calls Jesus, which his true biblical name is Yahushua. And when you read about that, you see that it goes into the fathers. Okay. See, King David was through that bloodline. Yahushua, which the word English calls Jesus, through the bloodline of the fathers. Okay. But in due time, this will be set up where the kingdom of heaven will be delivered. Right? The kingdom of heaven will go through, and Salakia, soon, that's Satan. As soon as you get started, you get a whole bunch of no's. But we're gonna keep going. All right. This is Deuteronomy 30 and 7. It says, "And the Lord thy power," okay, and the Lord is all caps, so that's going into Yahweh, or who the word English calls God, but in his true biblical name is Yahweh. He is. All right. It says, "And Yahweh thy power will put all curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee." When you think about who hates you, you so-called black, Latinos, and not Native Americans, you have to think about the history. Who have put you in subjection? Who have put you in slavery? Who have done all these things and destroyed you? Who you was brought over on cargo slave ships, and that was the Southern Kingdom. The Northern Kingdom was already over here. The Southern Kingdom was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. All right, we were brought over here on cargo slave ship, the transatlantic slaves. All right, so when you look at the Gadites, the Reubenites who was already over here, they were so-called Latino tribe. Okay, so when you look at the who whooped your backs and who destroyed you as a people, was Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Now, Psalms 83, as it says, they have joined together and cut us off from being a nation with the other nations. All right, with your Hamites, with your so-called Africans, which we are not the same people. All right, the so-called Arabs, who are descendants of Ishmael. All right, you have the Ammonites, Moabites, descendants of Lot. So those which are with our cousins, but overall we know that through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the scriptures let you know who are the true nation of Israel. All you gotta do is just look at what happened in the prophecies that have passed, and the prophecies that are just that have yet to pass, or like you say, are very very soon gonna come to come forth. All right. So if you read in Deuteronomy 30 and 7, it says, "Thank you, Yahweh." I'm gonna say Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because you can't get to the Father but through our big brother. All right, Yahweh Shai, who the word English calls Jesus, and his Hebrew name is Yahweh Shai. So, and Yahweh Shem Yahushua, thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. So, who persecuted us? Those were the so-called other nations, and they persecuted us. They look at what Esau being the main tribe of the heathen nations. These are the people that put us in subjection. And what are they doing under their rulership? Because the earth was given to the hands of the wicked, and under their rulership, you see things that are not profitable. Now, if you go over to Sirach 10, it gives you a quick account to help paint a picture. This is Sirach 10, Ecclesiastes Cuss, and the Apocrypha. Sirach 10, and I'm going to start at verse 4. I'm going to jump up after that. It says 10 and 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord. All right, in your hands of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and in due time. All right, so when their time is up, in due time, when the wicked that the earth was given to, time is up, their rulership is up. All right, it says he will set over it one that is profitable. Because and what is profit? If you go and do a job and work, you receive what? Money. You receiving profit for that. That is basically increasing something. When you see here in especially here Babylon the Great, aka America, you see a full decrease. All right, in life, you see a decrease in love. And what is love? Love is keeping of the commandments. All right, you see a decrease in just spirituality, righteousness. You see a decrease in everything. So this is not profitable. As the scripture said, will be no flesh left if this man continues to run the earth. But why was he given the keys to run the, like I said, keys to the city? He was given the keys to the earth because of our going off. Deuteronomy 28 tells you that. If we did these things, as it says in Deuteronomy 1 through 14, we will thrive upon the earth. But if we did not, then from 15 on down, okay, it lets you know that we were going to be put in subjection. And what happened to us at the end of Deuteronomy 28, around the 68th verse? Like you say, the final tribe that was over in the east, the darker nation, the darker tribes of the nation of Israel, the black, so-called blacks, the Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, who were called Jews. They were sent over here on cargo slave ships. But who was made over here first? Those were the northern kingdom. All right, the so-called Native Americans. All right, your Mexicans, Puerto Ricans. All right, Cubans. All these were brought over here to serve the captivity. Now the northern kingdom came over here, but what happened? The Lord, like you said, they was constantly going off as they were doing during the time they were over in the east, and they were brought over here, and Esau was sent over here, and they decimated them. And then from there, they came and got us from the like you say, the southern kingdom, the dark like I said, the Judah, Benjamin, Levi, so-called blacks, Haitians, all right, and you so-called West Indians, and brought us over here to serve our captivity. So we all ended up here in Babylon the Great, aka America. All right. But when Esau time is about up, and the Lord is going to set one up that is profitable, and that's going to start with Yahweh Shai. Okay, so Yahweh is going to send forth Yahweh Shai to come and redeem us, and not even just us, the elect of these in these times. The 2/3 are going to be destroyed. I'm gonna move on up. This is Sirach 10 and verse 1. It says, "A wise judge will instruct his people." All right, and Esau don't have no wisdom. Wisdom and knowledge and understanding will be the stability of our time and strength of our salvation. Esau don't have that wisdom. All right, he has the wisdom on the left hand side. We have the righteous wisdom on the right hand side. And the Lord has woken us back up in these times, because these are the times that we're at hand. It is in the due time, where Esau's kingdom is about to end. So the elect have been and will and continue to be woken up. Lord willing, that the wake up process for the elect is complete, because we see the chariots coming, and we see more and more chariots. We see things that are happening, knowing, but it's a short time before the end of Esau's kingdom. And it says, "And the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all that dwell therein." So, manner of how everything is going. Look at this. Look at everything that's dying. All you see is death, mourning, and what have you. But the mirth still try to go on here in Babylon the Great. But we see that, and full of lies. This is a city that is destroyed, and they don't even know it yet. I guess only way they'll know it when some missiles start, once the missiles start dropping, and before that, the collapse, because we see the collapse is about to happen. Hey, we don't know if it could be within the next year or two, but hey, we ain't finna be here another 10 years. We probably finna see a big ass dramatic change within the next 6 months. And you women out there that think you are at ease, hey, a lot of things are about to come. All right, so get prepared. If you're not got a man of the Lord, and you just out there trying to be what they say a woman that's independent or being proud as fuck, excuse my language, death is about to come in a major way throughout a town near you. But like I say, however the way of the ruler is, the king is, that's how the people gonna go. And look at how things are going here. When you just really look at things, it ain't how shit. Even when I was young, it ain't how it used to be. Shit, it ain't how it used to be 5-6 years ago. This is really coming to a terrible time. You got everybody walking around with masks. You got people shooting everybody. Everybody fighting. Hell, it was a man tried to rape a woman in broad daylight at Walmart. Do you think that's something that you would want to live in? You keep seeing all this shit happen. This is how the king, your king, Esau Edom, which is the so-called white man, is bringing forth. It says, verse 3, "An unwise king destroyeth his people." All right, an unwise king destroyeth his people. And Esau is not a wise. Like I said, he's wise as being on the left-hand side. So he's wise with wickedness. But it says an unwise king. That's basically saying a king, a righteous king. A righteous king is much different than unrighteous. So this is going into an unwise king, which is an unrighteous king. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the cities shall be inhabited. Alright? So it says, unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. And like say verse 4, the power of the earth is in the hand of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. Alright, and like I said, it starts with Yahweh Shai. And that's when those curses is going to be put on Esau Edom. Alright. This is Deuteronomy 30:7. It says, "And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies." And who is our enemy? Look at Deuteronomy 30 and Salaki. who is our enemy, Psalms 83 goes into that. Psalms 83 goes into that. And it goes starting with Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Alright? And it says all these curses. And what are those curses? What we're going through today. We got we built Babylon the Great. You so-called you Israelites, you so-called Black, Latinos, and Native Americans built a city that's one of the most lucrative countries in history, one of the most powerful countries in history, and it was built off the sweat of your brow. And you didn't really receive anything from it but a lashing with a whip, or put to death. You didn't receive no profit, but the Lord no profits from it. But the Lord said He's going to put one up that's going to be profitable. This earth would thrive once Esau Edom kingdom ends and the nation of Israel, okay, the kingdom of heaven reigns here on earth. It says back in Deuteronomy 30:7, the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. All right, so the Lord is going to put the curses back on them because their recompense is coming. What I want to put up here. This is Isaiah 10 and verse 12. It says, wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord has performed His whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, and Jerusalem is a people before it's a place now, and like I said, it goes into you so-called Black, Latino, Native Americans, and like I say, we speak to mainly the elect. I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the kings of Assyria. And who are the king? And who is the power of the earth today? Esau Edom. We're talking about the kings of Assyria, but this go into also what's going on today. So the kings here in Babylon the Great and throughout the earth is likened to the king of Assyria. All right, and it said the stout heart of the king of Assyria and the glory of his high looks. All right, and you seen when Trump was walking around having that high look, but this is all going to be brought low. And when he went to those councils, those meeting with those other nations, and he was walking around with his head up, all that is going to come to naught. Right? If you read Isaiah 14, it goes into how we will possess them, because as they possessed us and did us very wrong. But we're going to possess them, and we're going to basically be righteous rulers, because we're going to have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and the law is going to be put in our inward parts. All right, so just wanted to do a quick one. Hey, Lord willing, this was edifying. I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Wahab, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostle of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to Yakim to pushing His word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.